Your mind can play tricks on you. It can tell you things that you have to have or do, or things have to be a certain way. And when they're not, we throw a little fit inside. We may not externally, we might, but it sends off this signal that things are not okay, and we go into fight or flight. Now, fight or flight isn't just being chased by a bear. It can also be posting a picture on Facebook and somebody not liking it. It could be somebody cutting you off in traffic and you feeling threatened. Pretty much anything that you do that doesn't match up with how you think the world should be, there's a disconnect there, and it sets you into this. Now here's where it gets really important. If you take away anything from this short video, it needs to be this. The prefrontal cortex is a very important part of our brain. It controls impulse, it controls emotional regulation, it controls the ability to think, act, and feel properly. And when you shut that off, you lose all that functionality. You don't have impulse control, you're not empathetic, you're not controlling your emotions, you're not logical, you can't make good decisions. That doesn't seem to be a way we should be living our daily life, and it happens all the time. It doesn't just happen to little toddlers who are screaming that don't get their way. It happens to tweens, it happens to teens, it happens to young adults, it happens to adults, it happens to older adults. It never really goes away, it's how you're handling it. So yes, you can change the way you think, act, and feel, but that takes a long time. And in the process of doing that, your nervous system and your brain might already be locked in that fear mode. And because you've ignored it so long and told everyone you're okay and you're great, and showing that on social media that life is perfect, you start to believe that illusion when you really may not be. I don't mean to challenge you, but the facts speak for the facts. My center is in the Midwest. Because of the internet and marketing and networking of different doctors, I've been able to help people from coast to coast. Now, I don't say that to sound important. I want you to see the writing between. And that is that different time zones, different lifestyles, different personalities, different nationalities, different cultures, different ways of doing everything. And still, only 2 people were healthy. So that's not just me saying, in my little nice suburb of the Midwest, where we eat a lot of cheese curds and ice cream, right? The jokes, cheeseheads. It's not just that. It's both coasts. It's in between. It's the South. It's all over the place. Nobody's regulated. Nobody's really healthy. And we're all acting like we are. It's time to dig in and maybe make a change. I know when I had my first EEG and analysis done, I was shocked. I was like, how could I be doing this well, I thought, and be just spinning my wheels? How could my brain levels be all over and my stress totally off the charts? It's because I kept living telling myself everything was fine. And until you crash and burn, that's when you start realizing things. You may have a genetic predisposition to be a substance abuser and not even know it. Or what happens when the stress gets so bad and you start drinking or you start doing a drug and now you can't kick it? Because you might have been able to find out, like I did, that I had a little predisposition to be careful of that. My brain wasn't making enough of a certain brainwave. And guess what? Alcohol creates that brainwave. I know I got to stay away from alcohol. I can have some here and there, it's fine. But I know that I need to always be conscious that if I'm having a bad day, that's never the answer. I need to be doing more mindful things for myself. So just to be completely honest with you and transparent, that's how I am. The only thing perfect about me, the crease on this shirt. That's it. I'm just like you otherwise. There's things that could be better. There's things that could be worse. We got to keep plowing through, of course, in life. But I have learned in the last 20-some years studying the mind and the last 11 years studying the brain that most of us need to regulate that if we want to be able to be happier, healthier, and more productive. I hope this has kind of struck a chord with you or made you think a little bit differently. And I want to leave you with the words of Albert Einstein. And that is, the problems cannot be solved with the mindset that created them. Think about that one. We have to get in front of the problem and have better awareness, insight, judgment, knowledge of our current problem if we truly want to solve it. I'm Kyle Feroli, and I look forward to seeing you maybe on a stage where I'm presenting, more videos online, or at our center in the Midwest. Thanks.